mindfulness is something that's really helped me, and I think it would really, really help any guy who's struggling from this situation. You've probably heard of it before, but let me explain it to you in a completely different way. Mindfulness is the reward of meditation. So we need to just focus on meditation. Meditation, there's hundreds of thousands of different ways to meditate, but I'm just going to teach you the one that you probably care about the most, which is going to help you with addictions, with porn. It's going to make you more successful, more focused, and have like negative thoughts, right? And the kind of meditation that we're going to do, this a simple step-by-step framework which no one else has ever spoke about. But as soon as you hear this, it's just going to click, right? So step one is to, okay, start meditating. So we just focus on something like our breath. Do this with me, right? Just focus on your breath. This is step one. Step one is when we're focusing on the breath, and we literally just feel it, right? So just pick one spot in your physical body where you literally just want to focus. Imagine 1 millimeter. So you could pick like right here on your nose, or you could pick like on your stomach, or wherever you want to do. So just focus on one spot and just breathe. That's step one. Step two is invisible. Step two actually happens without you realizing it, and it's when your mind goes away from the thought. So literally, usually within some milliseconds, like usually within a second or two, when we're focusing on the breath, we're focusing on that exact millimeter of somewhere on our skin, for example. Our mind will go somewhere else and we'll start to think of other things, and we don't actually realize it yet, because when your mind goes somewhere else, it's almost like you feel like you are the thought at that point. And so you are indulging in the thought, and you're not very aware that you are thinking. And so for step two, that's when your mind wanders. Now, step three is when you actually become consciously aware that your mind has wandered. It's that aha moment of like, oh, I have drifted away into thoughts. Man, I suck at meditation. But instead of feeling bad about it and thinking, oh, I'm not able to focus, you realize that actually step four is when we just return back to the original point. Step four, straight after when we get the thought, oh yeah, like I'm deep in thought right now. Step four is simply, okay, come back to the breath. Return back to the breath. This bit here, returning back to the breath, that's like one rep, that's one push-up, that's one bicep curl for the brain. This is the process. You need to go through this. A lot of guys try and meditate and then get upset when they can't be focused, but you need to go through this. And the better you get at meditation, the faster that you'll get one rep. You start by focusing on that exact spot somewhere in your body and just feel your breath. Within literally a few seconds, you don't even realize it just yet. Obviously, we're very aware that we're doing this, but within a few seconds, your mind will just wander. Then you'll realize your mind is wandering. You'll get that moment of like, oh, I was deep in thought. And then all you have to do is just return back to that exact place that you were previously focusing on. And just completing this is one rep. Do that 1,000 times. Like complete this 4-step cycle 1,000 times. And you will literally see like a significant difference, of a significant improvement of how mindful you are. And the more mindful you are, the more all of your life gets better. But really, how mindfulness is used to overcome addictions, because it's one of the most effective addiction treatments, is that it kind of feels like it gives you more control over your cravings. So often, like sometimes we get these hard cravings that eventually just wear us down till eventually we just go and do the bad habit, right? Mindfulness, like the more mindful you become, it's like the stronger you get to be able to just ignore those cravings, to be able to just like understand that you don't have to actually submit to the craving, and it just does less to you. So imagine this, right? You have impulses which are usually bad, right? Usually, like most of our impulses are quite negative in the modern day. They're very like, short-term, instant gratification, right? Mindfulness gives you impulse control. So when you want to go and do that thing that's not good for the long term, which is an impulse because you can get it right now, mindfulness helps you with impulse control by pushing what you want further and further away, because you understand that delaying gratification, being patient, going for your long-term goal is better. So literally, we could set up a study. This has been done so many times, but we could set up a study where we just get 2 participants and we just ask them, do you want this chocolate bar? The people who meditate are more likely to say no, because it's not healthy for them. It's simple as that. If you meditate, the reason why it's genuinely a superpower is because you're literally like, it helps your impulse control. If you've ever heard of the term impulse control, that is incredible. Amazing.